Hi, my name is Charles, and I am going to try my first U.S. All Places quiz. I'm going to start at advanced level because I don't know how well I'll do at expert. Um, I'm pretty good at knowing U.S. cities, but um, I do have a fondness for other countries that um, well, you'll see. So let's type in advanced, and we have 90 minutes on the clock. And I'm going to start with Florida because it all starts with Florida, the greatest state in the nation. Um, they give the highways here, which is kind of nice. I'm going to zoom about this level. I don't know. Might zoom in, might zoom out a little bit if it's not. Okay, so let's start with the Miami area. Um, Homestead, Isla Mirada, Key West. No, I lived in Southwest Florida. I lived in Naples for a while. So my Florida geography is actually pretty good. It is the one state, and this is true. Maybe not, but it's true. I have been to all 67 counties of the state of Florida. That is impressive and not going to get me points on a date or anything, but impressive but stupid. Um, okay, so let's go up the. Apparently, there's a place just called West. Way to be creative, Florida. Oh, I'm doing all the states. Okay, so let's try Boca Raton. Um, it's filling up places because obviously, like there are places called Bell, uh, Moore, Oklahoma. Um, I don't think there's anything. Marco Island is the city. Okay, there's Everglades City, I think. Okay, they just take Everglades. Um, okay, so we're gonna go up the coast a little bit. Punta Gorda, um, St. Pete. It's gonna get me a whole bunch of St. Peter's and St. Petersburg is what I want. Um, Newport again. It's gonna get me a lot of places, but I want Newport Richie. Um, okay, so we got Stewart and Jupiter is that part of it. Sebring, Avon Park. I want to see if I can cover Florida. There's Arcadia. Um, I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Orlando. Okay, that stretch of highway on I-4. What is that? Is that like Lakeland, Bartow? Oh, there's Lake Butler up north. Um, okay, so Fort Pierce, uh, Clewiston, Okeechobee, interior Florida. I'm surprised there are that. I mean, this is all places, so there are 21,000 of them in the United States. Uh, who knows how many I'm going to get out of all of that. Okay, so Port St. Lucie. I think we're going to like Melbourne, Vero Beach. Um, what's north of there? Cocoa, Cape Canaveral. trying. Okay, up the 75, you got Ocala, Lake City's up there, Inverness, Zephyr Hills, Sutter County. The one place that I wish was on here is the Villages, which is a CDP. It's a census designated place. Um, it's a fascinating place. I would. It's like the world's largest retirement community. It's like 70,000 senior citizens in Sumter County, which is kind of the middle of nowhere, Florida wise. Okay, so St. Augustine. What is a stretch of coast that I have not gotten? Um, because there's probably going to be cities there. Merritt Island, maybe? No, that's a CDP. Uh, okay. Let's try some Cedar Key. I think it's down there. Some of the northern cities in Florida, Mayo. Uh, what else? There's Williston. Okay, that got me a lot of places. Let's try to fill in that Palatka, try Apopka, um, Jacksonville Beach. Up in Nassau County is Fernandina Beach. Um, okay, I'm not that strong on the Panhandle, so bear with me. Pensacola, um, Elgin Air Force Base, just uh, where else have we got? We're up to 5,000 cities, which is, we must have gotten a lot of cities from other parts of the country, because there are not 5,000 cities in Florida, definitely. Okay, so Tallahassee, Blunt Town, um, St. Leo, St. Joe is what I'm thinking of. St. Joe's, no. Apalachicola is down there. Uh, got Destin, so Fort Walton Beach, um, Mariana, Quincy, Uniac Springs. Um, Spending a lot of time in Florida. Just, like I said, it would be nice to complete it. There's Jay, that's up in the northwest, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get, like, I'm not familiar with some of these cities. Okay, so let's go to Alabama. I'm going to zoom out a little bit because I don't know Alabama as well. Dothan. Um, Sometimes it's just easier to think of cities with like A names. Okay, so there's, for example, there's Alexander City, um, Anniston. My mom used to live there, uh, and I don't always know exactly where these cities are located. Birmingham, obviously. Uh, Stavia Hills is a suburb. It shouldn't get me anything. Let's try Gadsden, Decatur, um, Bessemer. Got me a few. Maybe not from Alabama, maybe from another state. Tuscaloosa is down to 20. Auburn, Opelika, and Op. Um, okay, so Just trying to do Alabama as thoroughly as I can. Uh, Talladega Springs. Um, Selma is. Montgomery is there. Uh, I just haven't done Mobile, the Mobile area. Robertsdale, Saraland. The first place I went to in Alabama was called Theodora, but maybe that's a CDP. Um, CDPs there are lots of CDPs. The most famous one, the largest one, I think, is Honolulu, which is both a CDP and a city. Arlington, Virginia is also a CDP. So, for example, if I went up to Virginia, I wouldn't, uh, Arlington, I could get Texas, but I wouldn't get the city or CDP in Virginia. Um, there are some confusing things about American geography. Uh, Maine still has plantations. Louisiana has parishes. Um, Weird stuff is afoot. Okay, so maybe running out a little bit about Alabama knowledge. I have a friend from Arab, um, pronounced that way. There's Boaz, Bruton, Scambia County. Um, let me see. Try to think of some of the. There's a. Okay, so one thing that I'm going to try not to do because it would be a little bit. There are dozens of cities named Washington and Jefferson. You can just name the names of the presidents, and I can, um, and just rack up cities. So I'm only going to do the names of the presidents when I get around to it. So I'm not going to do Washington until I do Washington, D.C., or until I do Washington Courthouse, Ohio, because those are the only ones that I really know. I think there's a Washington, Utah that I'm familiar with too. Um, okay. Uh, Russellville, uh, Scottsboro. Okay, so we've done a lot of Alabama. Um, I don't know, it's in the sort of western. Um, while we can, I am originally from, well, it's a complicated story. I'm from Seattle. I'm from Mattawa. I'm also from Spokane. Um, I've lived in all three of those cities. I'm from Washington State. I regard that as my home state. So I'm going to do Washington State while I can, while I don't want it to be completely full. Um, Mount Vernon, Snohomish County, because Washington is probably the state I know best. Um, this is a weird story. So one time I was in Argentina in Buenos Aires, and this kid comes up to me, 19-year-old boy, and he asked me, like, "Conoces a Forks? Do you know Forks, Washington?" Because we had talked, and I said I was from Washington State, um, and I was like, "Yeah." And there was another guy from Friday Harbor, San Juan Islands, uh, and he was like, "I don't know Forks. I mean, it's this town in the Olympic Peninsula that's not that famous, apparently. Apparently, it's the setting for the Twilight novels, and that's why this 19-year-old boy from Argentina was asking me, "Conoces the Forks?" And I was like, "Sí, pero por qué?" Um, yeah, why? I mean, okay. Uh, Story time over. No, it's a little bit wasteful for her, but I want to like show that I'm more than just a uh, thing that names places. Okay, so I'm doing again the all places quiz because some of these cities actually don't have 1,000 people. Um, there are 10,000 cities in America that are less than 1,000 people, and I do know quite a few of them. For example, Cathlamet is the county seat of Wahkiakum County, and I know that place. Um, I know Wahkiakum County. I know how to pronounce it. It's one of the most illogical, weird county names in the entire country. Apparently, there's a band named after Turkey, obviously. Kelso, Longview. Getting a little bit off topic. I want to complete Washington State. I'm trying to name all the county seats. There's a Mount Rainier. Um, so there's Omak, Okanagan, Brewster, uh, Dayton, that's in the Columbia County, that's in the east. Asotin, Clarkston. Trying to get these sort of green. Actually, the brown areas, Mattawa is in a brown area. It is a steppe. It is a desert. It is a northern desert. It is. There was once this episode of the X Files, and they portrayed Mattawa, Washington, as beautiful and green, and Mattawa, Washington, is not green. And I was so mad. It was like I was like 7 years old. I was so mad at the X Files. You portray my town incorrectly. Shame on you. Okay, Wenatchee, um, Kashmir, uh, Leavenworth. Um, I don't know. This is not going as well as it could go. Um, uh, Grand Coulee, Coulee Dam is probably the same area. Um, I mean, the honest thing is, there's just a bunch of really. I don't know what's up there in the North Cascades National Park region. What's out there? Okay. All right. So we are running out of areas that I can name in Washington State. So Moses Lake, I already got that. There's a Tokyo that must be unincorporated. Uh, how about Colfax? That gets me some things. Um, yeah. The big areas. These are all national parks. It's Olympic National Park. It's Mount Rainier National Park, and it's North Cascades. So there are not cities in these areas, as far as I know. Okay, so let's go to states that we can complete, like poor old Delaware, um, Seaford, Lewis. Okay, Delaware is completed. Rhode Island, I shouldn't have to. Is Block Island a city? Cranston. And what do I have to do to complete Rhode Island? Is there a city on Block Island that I don't know? Um, Methuen, uh, Barnstable. I think, pretty close to completing Massachusetts. Uh, but I haven't yet. Amherst. Hmm. What am I missing in Massachusetts? Plymouth? Also pretty close to completing Connecticut, too, but I don't know what's in that far northwest corner. Maybe Litchfield? Yes, Litchfield. Okay, let's do some cities in Maine. There's Calais, Machias, Bar Harbor, Ellsworth. Uh, I have no idea what's in northern New Hampshire. Sorry. All the cities I know in New Hampshire are in the sort of south. And okay, so this quiz does cover a lot of. Again, all of these are plantations in Maine. That's the subdivision of the state. Rhode Island is also called Rhode Island and Providence Plantations. That's the old name. They took away the plantations because it had a bad ring to it. Wonder why. Um, okay, so again, I'm not the strongest on. And New York, for example, Plattsburgh, Plattsburgh with an H. Glens Falls. So I am over halfway done with. I think Binghamton is the city down on the 81. Uh, there's a St. Lawrence. No, what's up on the 81? That's near Canada. Lockport. Uh, Chautauqua, Tonawanda. Uh, Also, kind of looking to see if any states just sort of pop up. The East Coast gets really covered. I mean, okay, I understand why people would do the 1000 quiz because um, I think I'm just going to make this video like 45 minutes because uh, I've covered so many just random places that I'm going to do as best as I can in about 45 minutes. Uh, California, I live there, so I'm pretty strong on California. Santa Barbara, Goleta, Santa Maria. One fun thing with this quiz is that you have to say El Paso de. No. Oh, this one they let you do Paso Robles. I have a friend from there. I think one of the other quizzes you have to type out the full name, which is El Paso de Robles. Like Ventura, Ventura. That'll get me some. That's full name is San Buenaventura. Um, Los Angeles. That's a common trivia question. Is like Nuestra Señora de la Reina de Los Angeles de. I can't remember the entire full name of the city of Los Angeles, but it's something long like that. We haven't really done much in Arizona. City, Arizona has creative names. Um, Riverside. Um, San Francisco. Okay, that gets a fair amount. Oakland. Have to go to some of the cities that are Santa Clara. Santa Clarita is usually a good. Lancaster, Palmdale is sort of out of the LA area. Um, Fresno, Clovis, Coalinga, uh, Los Baños, Los Gatos, San Ardo. San Ardo is not a city. A lot of cities in California, especially in the north, are also CDPs. Like, well, I think Amador City is, uh, maybe it's not. There's a Nevada City. Okay, it appears we have this area pretty well covered. Sacramento, Calusa, Santa Rosa is this area, sort of. Okay, so Mount Shasta is a city. Dunsmuir is probably in the same area. Redding, there's Red Bluff. Weaverville should be. No, okay. Fortuna, Arcata, Crescent City is up in the far north. Klamath Falls while I'm at it. Susanville, Alturas, South Lake Tahoe. Um, and there's a lot of CDPs. I mean, there's a Bridgeport, but that's CDP. Bishop, CDP. I don't think I've done Baker City. I'll do Baker City, Oregon. So I'm to 14,000 and still got about 18 minutes on this video. So I'm actually going to do Washington for. Um, oh, that completed Massachusetts. Um, Nevada has very few cities, so try to cover Nevada because there's places like Tonopah and Pahrump that are just not cities um, for whatever reason. Uh, but Eli is, Lovelock is. That's where OJ was locked up. I think that's where the prison is, where OJ Simpson is locked in jail for his second crime or first. I don't want to get into that. Okay, that's the Las Vegas start. There really isn't much. I mean, there is a Virginia City. That probably gave me Virginia, Minnesota. But did that even give me anything? I don't know. Trying to think of the other city. There's Yarrington, but I already got that. Uh, Mesquite. Whew. Oh yeah, though that's in Florida. I just wanted that just came to my mind. Okay, so Fort Bragg, Ukiah. I am sort of definitely West Coast biased here, so uh, take that into mind. I've lived on the West Coast much longer than I have on the East Coast, um, so I am happier and find it easier to do some of these. Uh, so I'm actually going to cut the video at 30 minutes and make another video that's 30 minutes. Makes a little bit more sense. So we are basically finishing up Oregon, Matilla, Burns is, again, that area of Oregon is just not very. I'm playing President Game. Johnson, just think of it. Corvallis, Lincoln, Lincoln City, getting about to where we're going to stop. Um, Let me just get Oregon. Uh, Finished out a little bit more. Grant Pass. Um, okay, I just want to make sure that I've gotten everything that I could get in Oregon. Um, Sisters and Bend. Um, with that, we'll stop there. Put it on pause, and thank you for watching. I'll make a second video soon.